Welcome back to Cord Cutting today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, give you my opinion on them, including today, a massive data breach has happened impacting YouTube TV, Facebook, and many other sites. We'll tell you what you need to know and what you need to do to deal with this. Also, if you own these Roku players, it's time to upgrade. There's a bunch of Rokus who are reaching the end of their supported life. You may want to take advantage of some of the sales happening right now to upgrade your Roku. And Apple TV, about to get a major update. We'll tell you what we know ahead of next week's news. These stories and a whole lot more come up in a quick second. If you want to find out more about them, I'll put a link to them in the show notes and in the first pinned comment down below, so you can read them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. I'd love to hear from you. If you're new here, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. Doing one or both lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here, so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of TV, still watch the shows you enjoy. Alright, let's jump into this. A massive data breach affecting 184 million people has happened, and this has given credentials to things like Apple, Google, Meta accounts, and more. With this, you need to be thinking about changing your passwords, turning on two-factor authentications, and more with it. But a website Planet first spotted this, many others have reported it since then, and I got a notification from Norton about this happening. But apparently, some third-party company had an unsecured database of all these customers' login information and personal data, and with this, it's exposed logins to places like Discord, Roblox, Spotify, Gmail, Facebook, Instagram, and more. With that, what basically means is that if you used your Gmail account to log into your YouTube TV account, that's been compromised. People may be using your YouTube TV account. Same with Apple TV and a whole lot more. Consider changing your passwords if you've used it for a long time. Turning on two-factor authentication, ideally through an app, but also text messages is another way to do it. Not quite secure, something like an authenticator app option for that. And don't reuse passwords, especially passwords in any sensitive account. You know, your bank password should be used nowhere else, for example. I'd also argue that paid service passwords should not be reused on free sites. Often what happens is when they target a low-level website, they hack it, they get the information, and then they use that username and that password on other sites that are paid, because often people reuse usernames and passwords. So keep that in mind. Also consider a thing like a credit monitoring. I know banks offer it, but a third-party one often offers a lot more features with it, so keep that in mind. Protect yourself. It's not if you will have your personal information leaked online. It's really just a question of when, or more importantly, how many times has it already happened. Google Password Manager, I do like how they often warn you about compromised passwords, so keep that in mind to change them. And always, like I said, don't be reusing passwords. But there you go, there's a few quick things you need to know about it. It is a massive one. Protect yourself, especially if you used your bank account password elsewhere. Alright, let's keep moving along. Roku is ending support for some older devices. A lot of these are like 14 plus years old. And it's going to be time to upgrade. And let's be honest, it was time to upgrade these devices some time ago. Things like the Roku HD, which funny enough, that was my very first Roku I ever bought. Bought it used off of eBay. And that's how I got into cord cutting. Roku SD, Roku XD, XDS, all those were released in pre-2011. Then other ones including the Roku LT, Roku 1, Roku 2, which was the second Roku I ever owned, the Roku 2. Roku 2 HD, Roku 2 XD, Roku 2 XS, and the purple Roku streaming stick. The very, very first one ever released with that. Those are all like 10 plus year old streaming players. It's actually a pretty impressive run of support from Roku to be supporting some of these devices for over 10 years to give you the most out of your experience with it. So if you've been using these devices, you may want to consider about going to upgrade to a new Roku now. You'll notice that a growing number of apps like Netflix, ESPN Plus, and others are going to stop working or already have stopped to work on them. Roku's also not going to be rolling out additional support to these devices with new updates. Some of them have not got new updates in some time. So check it out. Link in the show if you want to learn more. But maybe time for you to upgrade some of your older Rokus. And honestly, for a device you get for under 50 bucks, 10 years of use, not bad deal there. Speaking of streaming players, Apple TV may finally be getting a new user interface. We've been hearing rumors of a new Apple TV, and it keeps getting kicked down the road again and again, and not happening. Now, a report from Bloomberg says that Apple's planning a massive software redesign, not just for Apple TVs, but also for iPads, iPhones, Macs, and more. With this, exactly what all is going to be included is unknown, but it's expected at the WWDC event, where the company will be announcing their new software user interface tweaks. How big of a change with this is still up in the air. I do suspect we'll see some changes, some tweaks. Apple, though, on the one hand, also has a history of being like, look, we rounded the corners a little bit more on an icon, calling it a big change. But I got a feeling this is bigger than that. From what I've heard, that they are preparing a pretty substantial update to it. The big question is, will we get the new hardware? I'm still up in the air on that. I've heard mixed reports. Some people are expecting a new Apple TV. Others have said Apple looked at upgrading theirs and kind of said, we don't see enough of an improvement here to justify rolling out a new device with it at this moment. Let's be honest, the Apple TV on the market now is more than powerful enough, and honestly more powerful than needed if all you're doing is streaming Netflix or YouTube or something. It's way more powerful than you really need for that. So will we see a new Apple TV this year in hardware format? I'm unsure. You leave me a comment. Let's get predictions in. Will we finally get the new Apple TV hardware this year? Could happen. Would not be surprised at all with it. But you leave me a comment. We've heard that story before for several years now, and it hasn't happened. So leave me a comment, let me know. Alright, if you're looking for something new to watch, Netflix has added a ton of new content this week, including some original content and some sports content like the F1 Academy is coming out this week, and more. And they're also having a live event on May 31st, Netflix Tadam, which is that sound they make at the beginning of the things. The live event is going to come give you a look at a bunch of new content coming. And then June 1st, there's a huge amount of new Netflix content. Check the link in the show notes if you want to see that. We'll be keeping an eye on all the Netflix announcements coming from their live event. It'll be streamed in the Netflix app if you want to watch it yourself. Also, there's a new Spaceballs movie coming. Are you ready for Spaceballs 2? The classic riff on all things Star Wars. It kind of became a cult classic here. It's about to get a new streaming home. Currently, if you want to watch it, it's on Amazon Prime Video for free, so hurry up and grab it. Otherwise, it will be moving to Max next month, ahead of the launch of the new movie. I don't have a release date on that, but if you're a fan of all things Star Wars like I am, and you enjoy some of these more quirky spin-offs, check it out. Spaceballs, streaming on Amazon Prime Video for free, soon to stream on Max for free. And lastly, DirecTV is making it easier for bars and restaurants and more to get streaming sports. Now, this was a big question a lot of people have given me is
streaming on Amazon Prime Video.
I apologize.
Bringing Mel Brooks's
my phone or tablet decided to read that article. I have it muted. I don't know how it decided to do that. A lot of people have been concerned as sports become streaming exclusive on things like Amazon Prime Video and other places. How do they get them to bars and more? A lot of people like to go to a bar and watch a sporting event. Well, DirecTV has become a big answer for that, and they just struck another deal that's going to give bars, restaurants, and more access to NASCAR Cup races that air on Amazon Prime Video. Amazon Prime Video is one of many options now of where you can watch NASCAR. Good news, bars will still be able to get it through the DirecTV package. DirecTV has increasingly become the main option for sports for restaurants, bars, and more. So good news, even though these sporting events are increasingly becoming streaming only, bars and restaurants are keeping options if they subscribe to DirecTV. Well, that's it for today. I hope you all have a fantastic day. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Thank you so much for all your support. Don't forget, we have a free newsletter. Goes out every morning with all the latest news on the world of cord cutting. Check it out. Link in the show notes. You can sign up for free for our daily newsletter. We also have a weekly recap newsletter if you would rather get a weekly one. Until then, hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. Hopefully you like what we do. Until then, take care. Be safe. I'll talk to you all again real soon.